I'd like to call to order the Douglas Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for Wednesday, June 7th. Just a quick announcement that myself and Mr. Palmer are going to participate in the meeting. We recused ourselves last time, and we're going to participate under the rule of necessity. The first agenda item is a continuance for Susan Koopman, case number 2023-07, 62 Peters Cove Road. The date of the application is April 10th. Hearing tonight's case will be myself, Mr. Fitzpatrick, Mr. Palmer, Mr. Forget, and Mr. Bombara. So the applicant or the representative want to join us?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Is it all right if I?
Certainly, absolutely.
All right. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. As you mentioned, this is a continuation of a public hearing. This is an application for a variance that is filed by the landowner. My client, Susan Koopman, with me this evening is her husband, Dirk Koopman. And as I set forth and tried to describe in the letter and the narrative that we submitted to the board, this is a small house or cottage on the reservoir on Peters Cove Road, and like so many such properties, it's a pre-existing non-conforming lot. I submitted a plan, I assume you all have it, that shows the location of the main dwelling. There are a couple of outbuildings, and the issue is that some time ago, there was a wooden enclosure on what I understand is venting that's on the exterior of the building. Venting that would, I suppose, in most circumstances be on the interior of the building. And this wooden closure, I label it a chase, for lack of a better word. There may be a better word, but I think it's just as good as any. And what happened was that the landowner sought to rebuild that chase because it became, it was in disrepair, it was mouse infested. There might be some pictures that were submitted with the building permit application. And the building inspector issued a cease and desist order because the result was that it was a little bit closer to the lot line than the prior chase. And therefore, although this is a pre-existing non-conforming structure and it enjoys that sort of grandfather protection or vested right, if you make a pre-existing, as you know, as you make a pre-existing non-conforming structure more non-conforming, it can be done on some circumstances on a special permit or a section 6 finding, but here a variance was required. So we did submit an application for a variance, and the application is to allow the construction of that chase within 1.1 feet of the lot line. The setback table is set forth in section 5 of the application. As you see, the lot is much less than what's required. Again, like so many such lots, it has less frontage, less area. The existing structure doesn't meet the setbacks, and so there's precious little room to make these sorts of improvements. We think we meet the standard for the grant of the variance, and I tried to explain that in the letter. The improvements to the chase, the rest, replacing it with something that was safer, more stable, more aesthetically pleasing, is something that there is law that supports the idea. I think I cite to a certain case in my letter that a safety concern that can be, ameliorated or lessened by the grant of a variance qualifies as a hardship under Section 10, and as I'm sure you're aware, it's that hardship criteria that's often a very difficult one to meet. So we do think that it's meets the standard for a variance, and respectfully ask that the board grant the relief requested to allow the applicant to complete construction of the chase and finish the project. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Is there any board members that have questions from the applicant?
I got comments. I went
Okay.
down there, of course, and I sent you guys some photos of this. Well aware of the situation, what he spoke about in regards to mice and stuff, but particularly that house should have never been built there. It was a small shed before, back in the day. it was close to the property line, and that could be, 20 years ago at least, if not longer, so it's a tight lot as everything else, but what he has built there is a platform for the foundation for it, and of course, I think I sent you guys pictures of it, but I don't take any issue with this at all, so I understand that it's 1 foot, 1 inch away from the line, but there are bushes behind them and all that, but it's not something they're going to live in, it's just trying to stop a problem with, like I said, run for mice, whatever, getting underneath there and inside the house.
Anybody else? Mike?
Uncharacteristic of me, but this is a particular case that I'm not opposed to. Typically, I don't like things that close to the property line for different reasons, but the function of this particular chase, it appears that it's for the heating system within the house. Is that projection on the bottom for a plenum that the ductwork attaches to? Is that what it's for?
Yes, that's.
Yeah, it's like a roof unit, but it's on the,
Right, but there's a little plenum at the bottom of the ductwork that runs up through that chase, that's why it's got that L shape to it. So, because it serves a function of the house for the heating system, I think it makes sense. If it was a deck or some sort of protrusion out there or means of egress in and out, then I'd have a different of opinion, but because of the function of what it's going to do in that house, I have no issue with it at all.
Okay. All right. Is there anyone else? Okay. As board members don't have any other questions or comments, I'll open it up to is there anybody in the room that would like to speak on this case? Okay, hearing none.
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Bombara, second by Mr. Fitzpatrick to close the public hearing. All in favor? Aye. Would the board like to move to a
Sure.
Decision?
I'll make a decision and,
Motion.
motion? Yeah.
You can only make,
I'm gonna make-
you can only make 20% of that decision.
make a motion, we approve the shed, not the shed, but the air conditioner in the back, and within the 1 foot 1 line as the property line, as the plans here that are dated on, no date on this. Anyway, it was received in the town at April 10th of 2004.
Does that get an engineered stamp on it?
It does.
Yeah, it does.
So we can accept that as the as-built since it's already in place.
It says 330, so, all right, so that's it. And the case number is 2023-07.
Okay.
a second.
Sorry, who's second? Oh, okay. All right. We have a motion by Mr. Bombara to approve as submitted, and including the plan that was submitted,
Submitted, yes.
showing the distances from the sideline. So that motion was made by Mr. Bombara, seconded by Mr. Palmer. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Just for the record, Mr. Chairman, the plan is dated March 30th, 2023.
Yep.
And it was drawn by Kapanek Consulting Incorporated.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
All right, thank you. We'll get that decision drafted and get it to you as soon as possible.
Okay, great. Thanks again.
Okay, I don't have any other agenda items, but we do have a decision from previous meeting, which needs to be signed. Ken, do we have any updates on North Village?
They're moving along, they're actually doing a good job of
keeping the excess soils down to a minimum. They've been hauling off site, so they don't have the huge piles that they had typically with phase one, phase two. I believe all except for the foundation that's in the ground now on Nautical Way is sold, affordables and market rate. I did get a call from one of the proposed affordable owners asking what we could do to expedite the building and get her unit done quicker, and I said, unfortunately, there's not much I can do. And it's not uncommon that it takes time. Basically, his units seem to be about a year in construction. So I says, when are you supposed to close? And she said it was scheduled for, I want to say the end of July. And I do know that it's plastic. They were starting to trim on it, so I would imagine that they should be able to meet pretty close on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that Mr. Fitzpatrick asked about number of affordables to market rates being sold. I don't have those numbers exactly yet. I will have those at the next meeting.
Okay.
And most importantly is you pay attention to it, so we don't
He
get
is.
messed up on our ratio.
From what I'm seeing, I believe that he's ahead of the curve on it by like 2 units, but I'm not positive, so I'll get that information.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, my name's not on this list. So is it something I should know about?
I was going to break the news to you later.
You forgot to send them that memo, huh?
I'll sign it, but
The pictures of the pothole appears that they cut them out and patched them properly.
Yes. They also did, I believe it's house number 19, unit 29, just before the cistern. The gentleman came in, Mr. Newsom or Newton, I think it was, had come in and had some conversations with me with regards to the end of his driveway, and that they
Thanks,
were
John.
to do his whole driveway, put the finish coat on, and he didn't want that until the paving, which I agree with them on, but I did tell him that when you're in there patching the road, get to his driveway and patch it properly.
All right.
What
so-
happened with that guy that wanted his driveway repaved and then he stopped him?
That was.
That's the same one, okay.
Yeah, like I said to her, I says, you're probably not gonna get a repave on a binder coat right now, because they still have to go back through and do it. But I says, I'll make sure that they get in there and patch the end of your driveway. She did have, it was de-rolled
Yeah.
and everything, so they can do that.
Okay. We also have the minutes for the meeting of April 5th that need to be approved. I think they were emailed to everybody, I'm not,
yeah, it was. I'll make a motion to approve April 5th, 2023 zoning meeting minutes
Second.
okay, as written.
as written.
Okay. We have a motion by Mr. Bombara,
On one side.
Yeah.
seconded by Mr. Forget, to approve the minutes of our April 5th meeting as written. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The minutes are approved. And we just had notice from the planning board on 2 different items. Someone at 12 Meeting House Lane in town is looking to build an accessory apartment, and they're looking for a special permit from the planning board, so,
What's it?
Meeting house.
Meeting House,
Oh,
yeah,
Stonegate Estates.
Estates, yeah.
Franklin Street.
yeah. And then there also was another application from McIntyre Loom concerning, looking for a special permit from the planning board to operate in, on the land that was now or formerly for Merit Tatro.
Is that in the new development?
Peter Michael Business Park, lots 3 and 4. They want to utilize that for operations to sift their loom.
Where that, all that activity is going on right now?
That's part of it, the front part of it, they still need to come in front of the planning board for, they want to store. My understanding is that they want to store the ties that they use in high-tension lines
Yeah, I noticed they've been piling them up
in his parking
in
lot.
the adjacent parking lot.
Yeah. So neither of these come before this board, but
No.
they're just
As a courtesy.
passing the
Well, common
information.
courtesy to ask us what our opinion is, that's all.
Yeah. So,
The in-law apartment started off, was supposed to be a garage. And until I finally got one of the plans that I didn't receive to find out there was a kitchen and bathroom in there. It was a garage all the way up until then.
oh,
And now it's foundation sitting there, going no further until he gets his permits in line.
okay. All right.
I had all the drawings, but that one page that showed that.
Convenient.
It must have fell off.
The printer screwed up, ran out of paper.
Okay. And we don't have any other agenda items or any other items to discuss? Therefore, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Oh.
Okay.
Fourth.
We have a motion by Mr. Bombara, seconded by Mr. Forget, to adjourn. All in,
One comment.
go ahead.
One of our members' granddaughter made him very proud at the graduation.
Yeah,
Elise, is that her name?
yeah,
Yeah. Did very well on awards night.
Oh,
yeah. Took it all.
we both had grandchildren that graduated from Valley Tech 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's his twin sister.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. That's good.
yeah.
Congratulations, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned at 7:18.